Well, greetings, entrepreneurs. I want to welcome you to the second video in our series of 2021 quarter one goal planning. So if you have not watched the first video, I would suggest you go ahead and click the link above this video so you can go ahead and get a plan in place, and you can also download the worksheets so you can go through that. So when you come to this video, then it will help you to follow the process. So let's get started in today's video. Now, what I'm going to take you through is just this template that I created in Trello that I will also give you as a free download so you can finish utilizing this. You can edit it and create it any way you want that's going to work with your business. But I just want to take you and walk you through the foundational tips and little strategies that you can use within your business. So when you approach your content media content calendar, what you want to do is know what you're going to be working on for that day. Doesn't mean you're going to finish everything, but at least you have a plan of attack when you are coming to your business. Now, the first part of this is researching your topics. So as you see here, I have a theme of the month. Now, what you would do is you would go in there and you can just what content themes will you talk about. You can have different content themes throughout each month, because each month basically would have maybe 4 weeks. Some months have 5 weeks, so at least you can garner your content around those weeks. So this way you're not trying to come up with content each week, especially if you are being overwhelmed, because you got to keep researching. So find content that is what I would say have many components to it, so you can talk about it more broader across those weeks. So you're giving your audience something to come back to, because basically you're creating a series around that specific type of content. So you would come here, and for instance, you can just say, January can be about, I don't know, clean eating. Let's just say that, clean eating. And so that is something that you'll talk about and create content all within January. Maybe February will be about, no carbs, no carbs diet. So you would just come in here, and it's just kind of brainstorming out what you will talk about within each month. So this way, if you already have 12 months of knowing what you're going to talk about, then you're not scattered trying to find the content. You already know each month what you will be addressing. And I think that will help you more within your content creation efforts. So let's move on. So now you can go ahead and plan your tasks for the day. So I would suggest maybe 3 tasks, because depending on what that task entails, it may have many components to it. So you want to make sure you do not overwhelm yourself. So let's start with task 1. Now, what I do is, when I am creating any type of content, I want to know exactly the activities around what it is I need to do. For instance, I basically do all of these: the video, the blog post, the podcast, and the call to action. Now, it's not like I'm creating each one separately. Again, with you watching this video, I'm creating this in Zoom. Zoom has an audio feature which I can strip and use that as a podcast. So I'm killing two birds with one stone again, and then I'm taking that audio and I'm uploading it into a transcription service, where now it is giving me a written document that I can go and edit and now put it on my blog post. So I'm able to do all of these 3 things and I'm able to do all these 3 things with one action. So you want to do things that are smart and not hard. You don't want to be sitting here working hard. You want to make sure that you are optimizing your time and getting the best results. Now, the call to action, you don't have to have a call to action for every piece of content that you do. You want to make it very strategic. Maybe you want to have, maybe I would say, maybe 2 call to actions a month, because you don't want to overwhelm yourself and you don't want to overwhelm your followers with so many things. Now, I mean, if that's something you want to do, then go for it. But if you're just starting out, maybe you want to create depending on the theme that you're talking about. Now, let me explain that. If you're talking about, for instance, the example that I use, clean eating, then you only want to make one call to action, because basically that is going to be the call to action that is going to be carried out throughout the month. You're going to offer it on your different social media channels. So you don't have to keep creating a call to action, because within that theme, you already have your one document, PDF, video, whatever form that you want to create that call to action in. You know, within that month, that is the call to action that is going to be offered to your audience for an email sign up. So now here's your research. So if you're going to research the content topic, you may want to go to Quora, your Facebook groups, Pinterest, or YouTube, or Answer the Public, because this is where you can get maybe more in-depth research on what it is you're talking about, to give your audience more, information on what you're helping them with. Now, when let me go and see, because I think I duplicated something in here, which I think I did, and I pulled it up. So let me just delete this. Okay, now blog post. So like I said, now here is my blog post. So if I know I'm creating a video, whatever, so I'll just say, okay, let me just do that, because I know I'm gonna kill those three birds with one stone. So what I'll do is come here. Now, when I'm getting ready to post my blog post, I'm gonna make sure that my headline has a good headline, that it's SEO optimized, that I have the photos or the different pictures that I need for that blog post. I'm going to make sure I have the backlinks that link out to other sources that can basically help my audience with even more information on the content that I'm talking about. Then I'm going to make sure that the internal links that I have within my website, meaning other articles that are related to what I'm talking about, that can refer them back to a specific article that is within my website. I'm going to make sure that my metadata, meaning my photo, is explaining what it is that the blog post is talking about. Whenever you're doing a Google search and you see photos, it has some type of metadata behind it, because it's letting Google is basically giving you the description of what this post is going to be about based on the picture. If you don't have any metadata behind your photos when you are uploading it to your website, then it can hurt you being found, because there's like basically no content there. So you want to make sure whenever you're posting like a picture, especially if you're doing a blog post, your main picture should have some metadata behind it. So this way, when people see the picture, before they even maybe go down and read this description, it's going to basically give them what that picture is related to. Then you want to make sure the focus keywords, when you are doing, especially using WordPress, you have to have a focus keyword in order to really optimize your blog post to be found. So you want to make sure that those things are in place, because you don't want to get a low SEO score, because just creating a blog post and say, well, I did it, it's done, doesn't mean anything. You want to make sure your content can be found by those who are searching for it. So these are important. So as I do that, I'll come in here and I'll check all those things off. And then if I am doing the video, again, the video is already being done. So I'm going to go and make sure that when I'm uploading my video to YouTube, I'm going to make sure the headline is there, the SEO is there, the keywords are there, the hashtag is there. I know I have to go and create my YouTube thumbnail based on the content that I'm giving. And then I know if I'm going to do a call to action, which I'm already said, I'm going to give you a template. So I'm going to make sure that that is part of that video offer. Then I'm going to make sure in the description, I'm letting you know what the video is about, also with all of my social media links and any other free resources that I may have that I want to share with my audience. So these are things, are tasks that I'm going in and I'm checking them off each time I performed an action. So if I'm doing a podcast, same thing. If there's a promotion or something that I want to promote within my podcast, I'm going to make sure that it could be maybe a lead to a free webinar, or maybe I'm going to invite you to come into my Facebook group because I'm doing a training. So I'm promoting that. So within that podcast, I'm going to make sure that that is something that I mention. So even though, let me go back up, even though I am creating this right now within Zoom and I'm going to strip the audio, but I can also go in and edit it and put that part in within the podcast so it can be seamless, and I can also get any other content out there that is not a part of this, video that I want to add to my podcast. So now the call to actions. What is it that I need to basically bring that call to action in place? So I'm going to need a photo, because when I'm showing on social media, people need to know what the call to action is about. And maybe, a certain template I may use to create that call to action. I'm going to be able to have to make an email opt-in form. So any call to actions that you are making that is not what I would say an automatic download, if you're trying to grow your email list, you're going to need to create an email campaign, because you're bringing people onto your email list. So that is a must. So you have to, again, create a welcome sequence that's going to welcome them into your email autoresponder, letting them know you thank them for them downloading the free resource. And this gives you a chance to now nurture them through other emails and things that are going on within your business that you can let them know about. So what I would do is I would come in here and I would set labels. So again, so most of the time I would just basically label this as priority. And then if there is a deadline, then I would go ahead and put that deadline there. So let's see, maybe I would go in and change the priority to a different color. So let's do that now. So maybe we want to, they really don't give you too many options, but just so it doesn't look just like the deadline, we'll just do it like that. So if I want to put a deadline and just put a date and say, well, we're going to start today and we're going to make it a deadline of, let's say, the end of the week. So this way we know this is when, whatever I'm doing right here is going to be due. So this is a way to keep you focused and to make sure that you are doing each task that you need to do based on the goals that you set. Okay, so now let's come out of task one. So now let's go to task, not three, let's go to task two. So task two now is, again, the call to actions. Again, you would just come in here and you would click what call to action you're creating. And then again, you would just follow that and make sure that you are doing that. It's just like a follow up to make sure that you are getting done what you need to get done. Because I like to keep it separate, so I'm not looking at task one. I already know all those things. So when I'm doing my call to actions, I want to be a little bit zoned in on what it is that I'm doing. So I'll come in here and I'll do that. But if that's a template, you don't really need that, then you can just go in and put in whatever task you need. You can go in and you can, change this, you can delete it, you can create another checklist by going here and just putting in the title that you want, and then just let me just show you. And you can just change the name of it, and then you can just go in and just start adding your own action items based on what it is that you want, the checklist to be about. Again, when you download this, you have to go in and you have to copy it. And let me just show you that. You have to go in and you have to copy the board in order for your content to not get erased or to basically be saved. So that's what you need to do when you download this. Okay, so the next thing is task three. So now basically task three is the social media platforms I'm going to post on. So you determine which social media platforms you want to post on to let people know about what it is that you've created. Like if you have a blog post or that you put out, you want to go on your social media and you want to say, hey, this is a blog post that I'm putting out today. So I'll kind of get into that a little bit later. So this is your to do. If you want to go in and to put a to do card, you can just go in here, create video, because you already went through your task. So if you come here and you say, okay, today I'm going to create a video. So you would just take those two off and you would go to here. You would say, okay, this is what I'm doing today. I'm creating a video today. So now you're going to make sure that you are, again, doing all what needs to be done. So you can go to your checklist. And let me just show you how I would do it. Video. You would go and get your video checklist, and it's going to have everything that you need there. So as you are focused on just creating that video, then you would go and you would just basically check all of the things off. Then once you do that, you can go to your labels and you can just hit complete it. You can change these labels. I think I'm not sure if I showed you that, but you can basically go in and change the labels if you want. You just go in with the pencil and you can just, you know, I don't know, what's another thing you can do? I think I already have pending, and you can just put need more information. I don't know. So you can just do that and maybe give it another color and just save it. So this way, I'm just letting you know if you need more information. But basically, if you had completed it, let's just go here, then you can do that. And then you can just move it over to complete it. So that's letting you know you completed that task of your to do. So that's what I like to do. Even though these are my plans for the day, I would come in and I would just see what I need to have done. And then I would go over into my to do list and I would create basically that card, because this is, I'm going to reset this over again. But if I want, I can just go ahead and move that over to the completed section without creating another card. But the only thing is now that task card is out of its slot. So basically, I'll just go in here and let me just show you. Let me bring this back over. So I'll just go in here. Again, remember we set that date to the 15th. So then you can go on here and then you can just go ahead and label that as, a deadline. So this way, your tasks are basically things that you're going to be needing to do on a regular basis. It's not something where I would just delete these things, because this is what you would come to every day and basically determine what you're going to do. And now you know the steps that you need to do to complete that. So it's basically, I would say, like your guideline. So you're going to just move over in your to do what it is you're working on and bring that checklist there so you can tick it off as you finish. Okay, now let me go into the content buckets, because the content buckets are basically the different types of content that you want to create. So if you go over back over here to the theme of the month, you choose from your content bucket. Like, you can choose from your content bucket what type of content that you want to create. Is it going to be a challenge? Is it going to be a giveaway? Is it going to be a webinar, podcast, a blog post, a video, a case study? So there's much more. So you determine what type of content that you want to pull from in order to create that content for your audience. So now, let me go down to this one, the next day task. So your next day task is basically for you to come in and let me see, I think I had created that. Let's archive that because I don't need that. Let me move this out of your way because I couldn't reach that archive button. Okay. So now your everyday task is basically at the end of the day. And I would just really just go ahead and rename this to end of the day task. Instead of saying everyday task. So this way you'll be a little bit more knowing at the end of your day, whenever that is, what you're going to do is come in and you're going to say, write 3 things that went well. What do I need to change? And then plan for tomorrow. So that way, whatever you didn't finish for today, it can go back, it can go in your to-do list. Or if you have something pending, then you can put pending there. Whatever it is, that's what you can do. So let's just put that into completed. So now what I want to show you as far as the calendar aspect of this template is you can add a calendar, and I went in and I added Planoly. So what you would do is you would go to show menu, you would go to, let's see, I think because I added it, but let's just go back. Yeah, let's go here to your power up. So you see it's already there. So I already included it onto the board. So you would just go here and you would just put in calendar. Now you can use your Google Calendar. Mine is already attached, so I can't show you how to add it because it's already attached to one of my boards. So this is the plan away calendar timeline and time tracker. So this is already added to the board. So you get 1 power up per board. So I just wanted to show you that. So when you go in, you'll know how to do that. So what happens is when you are now planning out your calendar or your social media calendar, you just scroll up because there's your calendar. So it's showing you, you know, right here, task 1, and it's showing you actually here, it's showing you right here, create video, you know, it's due by this date. So everything that you do down here is going to show up here in your calendar. So it's keeping you again on track. It's showing you like I guess in the day task, day 3, but it's going to, let me see. And I think because I put a date there, so you have to be careful. Let's go. When you add certain dates. So let's take this date out. And I think I had just done that. So see, when something's overdue, it'll let you know. So let's just put and check it like, you know, we completed it on time. So that way it'll show up. It'll take it off of that calendar. So task 3. So we want to make sure that we get rid of that. So we can just say remove time. So we don't have to deal with that. Okay. So then when you scroll back up to your calendar, you'll see that that part is gone. So now there's your create the video, there's your task 1. So what I wanted to show you, so when you go and you start adding your different tasks, you can go here if you have another task that you want to add to the board. Again, say you had I don't know, let's say a task 4, you know, just say task 4. And let's just say a collab with an entrepreneur with. Okay, so then you would just say maybe that's going to start, I don't know, the start date is the 20th. So let's add a time, let's say at 12:30. So you know that collab with entrepreneur. So then when you go up to your calendar, it's going to be right there in your calendar right there. So let me just jump over to show you if you are scheduling any of your social media posts on your social media pages, and if you have like Hootsuite or Buffer or those type of different what I would say social media scheduling tools, then you can go ahead and schedule it that way. But Facebook has its own suite, and I don't know if you know that, but you can go into your Facebook account Hopefully you have a business account, because the reason why it's so important for you to have a Facebook business account is so you can get the data from your posting, so you'll know exactly the insights that you are getting. And let me just show you that as this is loading. So when you have a business account, it's going to show you significant data that you need to know based on your posting. So if you have a Facebook, regular Facebook, friends page, you're not going to get this type of data. So you need to be able to have your Facebook account turned a business account. You can still have your normal Facebook account, but you need to have a Facebook business page in order to see your analytics and how your post or your engagement is going up. So now let's go into the business suite. So they have it where you can access it right here. Let's see. Okay, well, I'm into Insight, so it's not going to be there. But once you go into your Facebook page, you want to go to Publishing Tools. And when you click that, it's going to tell you to connect it, but you have to have, again, a Facebook business account. So you have a calendar that's already within Facebook. So then you can go into Facebook and you can basically create your post and schedule it out. And, you can add a photo, you can add a video, so you can basically schedule it. I'm not sure how far in advance, but I think it's pretty far in advance that you can schedule out your social media posts. Now, if you're on Instagram, I use Linktree, and what I love about Linktree is that I can have different links to different call to actions. Like this one is for the goal planning worksheet. So when you click on that link, it's going to bring you onto my landing page again, that you need an email autoresponder in order for this to work, because without an email autoresponder, you're not going to be able to have them to capture, let me say, capture their email address. So if you're building your email list, you definitely need that. And Linktree can help you have multiple different types of call to actions, where those who click on your links will be able to go and download what it is that you have created for them. And I think that was about it that I wanted to show you, but I wanted to make sure that when you are creating your your Instagram account, make sure that you have your name there, even though it could be the name of your business, which is okay, but you want to make sure that people can search you by your name. Let it be known what it is that you do, and let it be known that who you do it for. And if you have, you can put your website there. And again, you want to make sure that your posting is based on what it is your audience needs. Now, Instagram has where you can create your highlights that have even more value for them. Like here, I have a 5-day course. This was a sale of certain books, but I don't think it's active because it's not in my links, but they can also go to my blog. This is a course that I have going right now that it's about to launch. I mean, it's available, but I do have special pricing for it on through a webinar. So I just wanted to basically come in and show you how to set up your Trello board to help you. Now, let me get back into my Trello board because I think I came out of it. So this way you can really optimize it just to show you, not to overwhelm you, but just to show you, like, I have many Trello boards, but I don't use them all, but they're there for when I need them because of certain things I do. I have my podcast board. I have, my blog post board, even though it's 2020, I have to update that. But a sale board, a promotional board, and these are some client boards that I have done. So, yeah, so I will have that link down in the description for you, so you can go ahead and take advantage of that free I'm just losing my train of thought here. So you can go ahead and download that template so you can go ahead and get started on creating your calendar, your social media calendar, and your editorial calendar. So please go ahead and hit that subscribe button. And if you have any comments below based on this video, then you can leave them and I will come and I will answer them. And I will probably, if you like, I would do a follow-up video if I get more questions based on that people have a problem with, so I can come and address it through a video. So have a great day and I will see you in the next video.